Hi, my name is Tim Amons and I'm a product manager with Equinix. Today I'm going to give you an overview of Fabric Cloud Router. So multi-cloud networking is something that Equinix has been facilitating for its customers for a long time. For years at Equinix, thousands of customers have already been solving for multi-cloud networking by using services such as Cross Connects, Equinix Fabric and Network Edge. But our products and services are evolving beyond these building block services which require assembly and networking expertise by the customer and into a more cloud-like experience in an as-a-service consumption model. Fabric Cloud Router is an important step in this evolution as we continue to work on our goal to offer a true cloud-like networking experience at Equinix. Our intention is to create a new service category by introducing a unique offering that will simplify the entire life cycle of building a hybrid multi-cloud network. From the orchestration of the discovery of networks, interconnecting and securing those networks, to providing observability data to manage the network more effectively. We aim to revolutionize how our customers can build and run a hybrid multi-cloud environment. And we're calling this new offering Multi-Cloud Networking Service, MCNS. The multi-cloud model is the IT architecture of choice amongst most enterprises around the world. Enterprises use multiple cloud providers to achieve flexibility, operational simplicity, cost efficiency, speed to market, and global coverage for their IT infrastructure. So some of the challenges today. Enterprises have adopted cloud IaaS services for compute and storage, but the networking, securing, and observing data across multiple clouds and hybrid deployments can be extremely difficult. Managing the network to and between both public and private clouds is complex and presents a big barrier to enterprises wanting to maximize and realize the full potential of a multi-cloud approach. Enterprises want to build and manage one logical network to connect and to orchestrate between public clouds in a consistent manner, and where necessary to also securely connect their own infrastructure, whether that be co-location, private cloud, or on-premise. Multiple market players are seeking to fill the need for multi-cloud networking, but each of their solutions have different shortcomings. Traditional network service providers lack the agility and deep cloud integration required, and a lot of them have regional coverage rather than global. The hyperscalers offer networking capabilities, but they're focused on driving more usage of their own clouds and therefore don't really and easily integrate with competing clouds. Multi-cloud networking software vendors use an overlay approach, which integrates clouds through software but over the public internet, leaving them vulnerable to security and performance challenges. But with the introduction of Fabric Cloud Router, Equinix continues to build on the functionality and orchestration needed to simplify multi-cloud networking. Fabric Cloud Router is available where Equinix Fabric is available. No co-location, physical hardware or software is needed to take advantage of Equinix's networking on-demand capabilities. It's delivered completely as a service. With all the major cloud service providers having a network node and on-ramps in Equinix IBX data centers, you're often less than a millisecond away from them. Fabric Cloud Router and any connections on the Fabric Cloud Router are delivered over Equinix Fabric, our high-performance, secure, private software-defined network, so you don't expose your data to the public internet or incur any excessive egress fees. Equinix Fabric Cloud Router is simple and its deployment is automated using either Equinix Fabric Portal, API, or infrastructure as code. We are a Terraform provider. And there's no commitment. The billing period is 1 day, i.e. 24 hours. Fabric Cloud Router is delivered as a service and is highly distributed and highly available within the metro. So a single Fabric Cloud Router is inherently highly available. You don't need to deploy 2 of them. With other solutions, you may have to deploy 2 times appliances, 2 times software license, at 2 times the cost to achieve high availability or redundancy, as well as have to configure and manage the failover mechanism yourself. Equinix Fabric Cloud Router is also highly scalable. It supports individual connection speeds of up to 50 gigabits, and a single Fabric Cloud Router instance can support hundreds of gigabits of aggregate bandwidth. So as we already established, enterprises will have applications and infrastructure deployed in more than one cloud. They may have been born in the cloud or migrated completely to the cloud and have no physical infrastructure on-premise or in a co-location environment at all. With Fabric Cloud Router, these enterprises can establish a networking point of presence that is cloud adjacent without any co-location hardware or licensing, and start routing between these cloud service providers in minutes. You can create connections to your co-location from your Fabric Cloud Router to your Fabric port. We're now going to look at a couple of examples of real-life customer use cases. So here's an example of a customer that's already using Fabric Cloud Router with Equinix. And this customer is an American multinational transportation company. They had a corporate IT project to migrate their internal applications and data, all 1,500 terabytes of it, from AWS to Google Cloud, and the project was already well behind schedule. The customer's engineering team did not want to saturate the existing corporate network and needed a high bandwidth solution due to the volume of data that needed to be migrated. Within 24 hours of engaging Equinix, the customer's engineering team had deployed a Fabric Cloud Router and redundant connections between AWS and Google Cloud and had begun to transfer the data between the clouds. They were so impressed with the ease and the functionality of the solution that their other business units are now looking into how they can also leverage Fabric Cloud Router for other use cases. Here's another example of a customer already using Fabric Cloud Router with Equinix. And this customer is a financial services company where resiliency and disaster recovery is of huge importance. Fabric Cloud Router and its IP WAN feature gave this customer the option of creating a highly distributed and highly geo-redundant multi-cloud solution way beyond what would have been realistically achievable previously with a physical equivalent due to both cost and logistics. They were able to deploy a Fabric Cloud Router in Dublin, London, and Amsterdam, locations where both AWS and Microsoft Azure have on-ramps within our IBX data centers and are less than a millisecond away. And by using our IP WAN feature, they were able to connect these 3 Fabric Cloud Routers in these 3 metro locations so that the routes learned on each could be propagated between the 3 metros. They also made use of Fabric Cloud Router's Route Policy Manager, a feature which allowed them to create and apply routing policies, meaning that they were able to be more selective about which specific routes they chose to learn and re-advertise between clouds. We currently have 3 Fabric Cloud Router packages available, including a lab package, which is a free tier. But don't be misled by the name. This is not actually a lab environment, it's actually running in full production. So you can run production workloads, but just with limitations on scale. You can create up to 3 Fabric Cloud Routers in total globally, and 10 connections in total, each with a maximum connection speed of 50 megabits. And you can even use the IP WAN feature with our free lab tier, allowing you to connect and network up to 3 Fabric Cloud Routers globally. We also offer a standard tier with no limit on the number of connections, but with a limit of 10 gigabits of bandwidth per connection. It also comes with a higher route quota, which is the number of known networks that we will allow to be installed in the Fabric Cloud Router's routing table. And then we also have a recently released advanced package, allowing an even greater route quota limit and individual connection speeds of up to 25 gigabits in some metros and 50 gigabits in others. And remember, that's 50 gigabits per connection. The Fabric Cloud Router itself can handle hundreds of gigabits of aggregate bandwidth and throughput. It's really easy to get started with Fabric Cloud Router with zero commitment and for free using a lab package. All you have to do is visit Equinix Fabric portal. The URL is on the screen, or just Google Equinix Fabric portal. If you're not an existing customer of Equinix, you can simply register as a new user on the login screen to get started. And if you are an existing customer of Equinix, you should already have access and should be able to create the Fabric Cloud Router to get started. If you don't, then simply contact your master admin or customer success manager at Equinix.